This is Brian Jackson with Invidia and Hemlock, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Hey, you are listening to the Brutally Delicious Podcast. I'm Bruce.
And this is Riina from Silentium, guest hosting with the awesome guys, Chris and Bruce.
And this is Chris, last in line as usual. But I'm not depressed about it. I'm just living the best life I can.
Wow. That was kind of sort of dark, dude.
Well, I did it that way. I did it that way because the band we're about to listen to is fucking dark, man.
Dark.
Killer band.
You want to tell us who they are since you already opened that can of worms?
Invidia. Like the video card, but with an I at the start. Invidia.
And a whole lot heavier.
And a whole lot heavier. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Brian, how are you?
How are
Hey,
you?
Brian.
So I'm Bruce. That's my partner, Chris, and we have a guest today. We got Riina all the way from Finland. Say hello.
Hello, guys.
How you doing, Brian?
I'm tired.
I
7:30.
can hear that.
It's
Ready to
7:30?
Start the day. I thought my interview was at 10:30. I guess I was mistaken. Your Eastern time, so it's all good.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
Where are you?
I'm in Vegas.
Oh, shit. It's hot today.
No, actually, believe it or not, it was hotter than fuck yesterday, but today's about 25 degrees cooler and windy, so we're thankful.
That's 25 degrees Fahrenheit, right?
No, it's 25 degrees cooler than it was yesterday, so it's about 85 today.
Oh, cool. Well, that's comfortable.
Crazy fucking numbers. Metric people.
So, yeah, anything over 100 becomes a nightmare. So yeah. Today.
What was it, like 120 there yesterday, wasn't it?
Oh, I'm sure it's like that all the time in the summer.
Fuck. So, Riina, 120 is about 49 Celsius.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
That does not sound...
Brian, I'm sorry. We've got some international people who still deal in the metric system. So
all good, man. That's cool.
All I'm gonna say is this: there's one country in the world that doesn't use the metric system.
It's
the U.S. Interesting fact, and they were supposed to actually change with Canada in 1975, but they didn't.
Oh,
why? Why? Because do you know, like in Finland? Okay, this is just a weird like tidbit of information for you guys, but I think it was in the 70s when they were like deciding whether weed should be legal or illegal in Finland.
Yeah,
and the vote was so close that they actually flipped a coin for it.
Oh,
so we are now living a weedless life because of a stupid fucking coin.
Did you know that in Canada it's fully legal and the government mails it to you through the post office?
I completely do, and I'm moving there and like the worst possible occasion.
So, Brian, before we get to your band, I'll just share a tidbit of information. I'm from Canada.
I'm sorry.
And my friends constantly send me photos of their government-sanctioned weed.
Nice.
Like, Jesus.
I've been to Canada multiple times. I didn't really know that they did that there.
It just started last year.
Oh, wow. That's
yeah.
crazy.
You can even smoke it outside. You can just go for a walk and smoke a joint.
Times sure have changed, haven't they?
They sure
not
have.
Not here, though. Not in Virginia.
Fuck no, not in Virginia.
So let's talk about Invidia. What are you guys up to these days with all this nonsense going on around you?
That's a good question. So I haven't done an Invidia interview in quite some time. We've been... So like early 2018, maybe mid 2018, we were running into some issues with scheduling. So we decided to take some breaks. It's tough on the road financially. I'm sure you guys know, and things can be a little rough. So I'm a single father. I have a business, and Travis was in this moment, and Matt was dealing with his business and his family. So we took some time away and kind of just trying to restructure and see where we were going to go. The band was never really planned out in the beginning. So we just kind of were winging it, and things kind of took off fast in the beginning for us and put us in a situation at full speed ahead, and we weren't really prepared. So we needed some time away. So when we released this video recently with everything going on, we felt we've been actually holding on to that video for over a year and a half due to some record label contract bullshit. And I was pressing to release the video for I was a long time, and the record label was not allowing me to do it. And I was going through a legal issue. And when the pandemic started, obviously all the uncertainty and just not having anything else to do. Got a studio here. I started watching the video and realizing when the writing and all that crap started, this video was it was just a lyric video, but kind of relevant to the lyrics and everything that's going on. So I started pressing the label to let me release it, and they finally agreed and let us get out of this bullshit contract. So we released it and decided to start getting a little bit of press again and seeing if we want to reboost things. We're kind of in a hiatus right now. I'm not really sure what we're doing. Have a bunch of music we've been working on, and well, at least I've been working on. Just not really sure the direction at this point, you know. I know that the band will live on because it's my baby. It's like I gave birth to this thing, so me and Travis did, and we're just doing our thing. Everybody's locked at home, you know, communicating, and Matt's got a tattoo shop up in Reno. I own a moving company here in Vegas, and Marcos is out in Denver, and everybody else is kind of all over the place. So everybody's just kind of like everybody else, is stuck and trying to write music and be creative and hope for the best soon so we can get back on the road, you know?
So how do people from so many different places get together to join a metal band in the first place? Or were you all in Vegas at one point?
Not, you know, it's weird, man. It's like growing up, it seemed like everybody, when we're teenagers, being a band, like you all live in the same neighborhood or whatever. But I haven't been in a band in the last 15 years where we live in the same city. It's weird. We just fly in, you know, we when it comes to writing music, I mean, usually there's the main guys that will write just creatively and come up with ideas. Like for Invidia, it would have been Travis and myself and Logan, who was producer. I mean, we did all the writing at home. We all have our own home studios, you know, and we would just email each other files and then get with Logan and fly in and schedule things accordingly. You know, when we have a tour, we rehearse, we designate either Vegas or Reno to be our rehearsal spot. So Matt lives up there, I lived here, and I have a warehouse that we rehearsed in. So we just come out 3 or 4 days before a tour, everybody stay at my house and head out. And that's about it, you know, just a lot of communication over the phone.
That's it, man. Technology is freaking amazing.
Dude, it would have never happened years ago. Back in the 80s, we would have had $10,000 phone bills and fucking. Remember back in the day, you called. I lived in Oregon. I remember getting in trouble with my grandfather from an AT&T bill. I remember calling my friends in Bakersfield, and his bill was like $500. So I can shut my fucking head off for it. Can you imagine trying to communicate with your friends nowadays like that? It's like it would never happen.
My neighbor still has a landline, and it rang yesterday. And my wife is like, "That sounds like a landline," and I was like, "I know." She's like, "Why would you have that?" I was like, I don't know. She goes, for long distance? I was like, isn't that what fucking Skype and Messenger is for?
Right. Like, who calls a landline? It's got to be a ghost. Like,
yeah. Well, here it's telemarketers.
I haven't had a landline in years. When I started my moving company back in 2009, I had a landline and I did everything on my cell phone. So I'm like, what's the point of this? It's ridiculous.
my favorite, though, is the robocalls. Hi. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Yep, every call.
Those only like now just started in Finland. It's a whole new thing here, and people don't know what to do with it. And I'm expecting it to become an issue in the next couple years. But did you said you're a single dad? Did you have your kids at home now because of the Corona thing? Do you have to like the remote school thing now?
Yeah, they're actually, right when you guys were calling, I was walking into each one of their rooms, waking them up because they have to log in at 8 a.m. here in about 9 minutes and start class. So they start from 8 a.m. One's a sophomore and one's a senior. Oh, wow. And they have to log in. But the thing is, it's actually working well for them. I don't know. Maybe they're kind of like me. They learn hands-on. I think they're getting rid of all the distractions and all the social drama that goes on in high school. For my kids are getting straight A's right now. It's only been a couple weeks, but it seems like they're more into school than they've ever been. So,
you know what? This is something that I've never heard. You know, I've never heard a parent say, "You know what? This is actually working better."
It is. I'm happy because we had a rough couple of years, man. I mean, just to make this long story short, I've been a single father for 15 years, and I've raised my kids by myself. They're 15 and 17, so I've had them their whole lives. And we've thought, right when you think, you know, things are getting to the point of like, okay, we got this. We had some really tough hurdles back in last year and some things overcame. But yeah, like to see things, because I didn't know how this was going to turn out. And their education got fucked off for a year. They lost their mother last year. She passed away unexpectedly. And she wasn't in our lives for a long time. But like the thing was, man, it's like my son was getting in trouble because, you know, how teenagers are. They're fucking idiots when they're young. doing dumb shit, and there was just personal problems, so it interfered with their schooling, and he lost about a year, and we were not sure how to do this, and the last thing I want to do is cheat my kids out of their education,
Right.
But it's fucking working out awesome, man. Like my son yesterday went to his friends and he sent me a screenshot of every single class is at 100% on everything. And his teachers wrote me an email and said they were so impressed. He's the number one kid in their class and he's showing more improvement than they've ever seen. So I'm stoked.
That's good for you, man. That's fantastic.
That's like, first of all, Brian, so much respect for you. That is not an easy role. I'm a single mom myself. My kid is only 4, so it's completely different. Those troubles are ahead from me, but you are clearly doing an amazing job, and just congratulations on your success with your kids.
Thank you. It's definitely been tough. I mean, it's crazy. Like when they're young, he said 4 years old. I miss those days so much. Holy shit. I would do anything for that time again. I mean, now they back talk and now they think they're smarter than you, now they're fucking their shit don't stink, the whole thing. But at the end of the day, like my boys and me, we fight. We're all 3 dudes living in a house together. Regardless, they're becoming men, and they're good kids, man. They're talented. My oldest son, he's the most talented musician and producer I've ever seen in my life, literally. And I'm sure he's going to be a household name at some point. I mean, he's an artist. He plays every instrument. He produces. He writes beats. I mean, he's been in music videos and stuff. But he's just a
nice
talented kid, man.
Is he also into metal or?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a funny question. They used to be always look up to me. I've always been a rock dude, and all my friends are rock stars and shit, kind of hanging out their whole lives. So they were always, long-haired metal kind of dudes when they were younger. But now they're getting older. My son's kind of producing and writing beats. He loves metal. He has his favorites and shit. But they're open, man. They listen to a lot of hip hop and stuff, but they also listen to a lot of that classic rock, like the Beatles with me and shit. And they're into all different kinds of stuff. But yeah, they have a wide range.
Is there can you hear Invidia influences in his stuff?
Nah. I think the only time me and him write together, we were, I built my studio in my house a couple of years ago for him, actually. I did it for myself, of course, too, but I really because he was showing a side to him that I needed to really help him with. And I built this studio in my house and we were writing together. And I think even though I think the music's fucking amazing that we did together, but he's been a little more reluctant to have me in the studio with him unless I'm engineering his shit, him telling me what to do. He doesn't want me to write with him. So he's trying to stay opposite of everything Dad does.
Hey, that's what teenagers are for.
Oh yeah, and I can appreciate it. And I respect it. I know a couple years he's gonna fucking come back around. It's cool. I still got his back in the meantime. Like I told him, man, it's like you always got a place to live here as long as you're doing well in school and you're keeping your head, your nose clean, your head up, and doing the right shit. I said I got your back. So he sits in that studio 8 to 10 hours a day.
Nice.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
Sounds like my life.
I will say, Brian, enjoy it while you can anyway, because I'm the old guy in the room, and I just got my second one out to college 3 weeks ago. So
I'm scared of that. I'm scared of that, man. I've actually was talking to a friend of mine the other day because I've been going through, I think, maybe somewhat of a midlife crisis. I'm 44, and that life as they get older and you start feeling they're coming into their own. Like all I've ever had was them. That's the only reason I have a reason to live. To be honest, I don't have a family. I don't have parents. I don't have brothers and sisters. It's just them. So. Yeah, I can't imagine what that's going to be like when they officially leave the house. I have my dogs.
Hopefully they go to school in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they become successful and decent human beings.
I will tell you that my son left, like I said, 3 weeks ago, second one out. First one didn't call as much. My younger one that just got out, he calls every night, probably between 10 and 11, to tell me about his whole day. And
awesome.
I never expected it. I expected him, to start breaking away and doing his thing, but he'll go out and do whatever he's doing, and then he'll call and go, all right, well, here's exactly what I did today. And I love it. I actually am looking
that's like nothing better than that. That gives you it just reinforces everything you've done as a parent. It's fucking awesome.
I thought this podcast was supposed to be about metal and Invidia.
Sorry.
Hey, that's okay, man.
Sentimental, sappy, single parent shit.
Yeah. If you listen to Invidia, you would never get this idea from you.
Yeah, right. Well, a lot of the lyrics come from all the stress of life, but yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah. I own a moving company as well. So my life's much different than people would think.
Right.
Yeah, I understand. So what would you say would be the best case scenario for Invidia in your eyes?
For me personally, the band just to keep relevant and doing our thing. I mean, we know that this band, some bands, you know, are like I'm in Hemlock. I don't know if you guys know who Hemlock is. I joined Hemlock recently, and they tour all the fucking time. We were supposed to be in Europe this summer in 18 countries, and we had to cancel because of the stupid COVID shit. And they're always moving. With Invidia, like I said, we didn't plan it. So my goal with Invidia is to write another record. I want to, because the first record is very personal to me and Travis, and that kind of opened a lot of doors for, I mean, I've been in music forever, but that opened a lot of doors for me in a lot of different situations. And that record is very personal. So I'm hoping to be able to release another record and do some more touring. I don't see Invidia doing like, you know, tour after tour after tour after tour back to back all year long, like some bands do. Maybe maybe do some festivals and a couple tours here and there, but it's hard to say when that will happen, you know, to be honest.
Right.
So, but I'll be keeping busy in Hemlock in the meantime, because as soon as the COVID thing is lifted, we'll be right back on tour, and I probably won't be off the road for a long time.
That's going to bring me to my next question. And I know nobody has a crystal ball, but I'm curious what your thoughts are. Where do you see the music business, or this whole thing that we're all evolving to, or panning out to be? Because it's going to have to be different, right?
Well, yeah, everybody's talking about it. Shit, I just talked to my singer from Hemlock the other day, and we don't know, of course, like anybody else, but we obviously feel that there's going to be a lot of changes. It's just, I can't even imagine, honestly. We've lived our whole lives a certain way. Now I just can't even imagine how it's going to be. And especially for bigger, high production bands, like, if they let sports start happening again and they let crowds start going into arenas, then I see the music thing getting back to normal, but I just don't know, man. It's weird. I think maybe smaller. I think one thing I think will come out of this, and this is my opinion, is I think a lot of bands in different markets, like Vegas has been, for local bands, for instance, that play in local scenes around the country, no one comes to support and show up. I think if anything, local bands are going to benefit from this and start getting exposure. We might see a new wave of bands coming out that we've never heard of, because they're going to be, I think people are going to be so hungry to see live music, they're going to want to go out more and be able to do it more. I think a lot of bands are going to benefit from that on the lower scale of things.
My concern with it all is that there's no funding for venues or event promoters or
sound guys.
Exactly.
So what's going to happen to all these venues that close?
Well, that's the next big question. This is the most concerning question. A lot of venues have a hard time keeping on as it is. And, that's why they're even like living in Vegas for 20 years. I mean, these venues come and go all the fucking time. So I don't know, man. How are we going to route tours if, certain markets aren't doing certain things? And it's so many variables that are going to be hard to connect the dots. But with the venues, I can't see. I mean, how are new venues going to pop up when there's no funding, like you said? And people are they going to want to invest their money in a venue with it possibly getting shut down again, and all the venues that are losing money? I don't know, man. It's hard to say.
Like for instance, here there's a company that owns about 3 or 4 venues. They put on a big 80s hair metal festival as well here, and they own the Anthem in DC, which is probably the nicest venue I've ever even heard of or seen in my life. It cost them $60 million to build this venue.
Jesus.
And right now, the way they're trying to get through is they have like 20 tents outside. They're not tents, like little gazebos that they put on the riverfront. And you can book them for 2 hours and they'll feed you and give you booze. That's
wow.
That's how they're trying to make money. That's fucked.
And that's, what? And that's the thing, man, is that's the sad part of it all, is like they have to survive. I mean, people are going to go fucking bankrupt and doing everything they can. So I'm hoping, man, like at least, and it seems like a fucking long time from now, but January, I hope after January, we see some kind of light at the end of the tunnel. I'm hoping by next, spring season is what we're hoping for. We want to start routing tours now for next spring and summer, going back to Europe. We're trying to reschedule our entire European tour for next summer now, because we're hoping. But I mean, I can't even imagine if we're here next year talking about this. I mean,
exactly. And that's a whole other problem, is rescheduling the tours, because everybody's rescheduling. Like,
and if anybody realizes, that's a lot of fucking work.
Exactly.
It's so much involved.
Yeah, and there's like so many bands in line now for the same freaking slots, and it's like, if you're a smaller band, you obviously are not doing well in the fight. But yeah, it's a whole fucking hassle, and just the whole amount of work that goes into it, and the hassle of moving them. So if we move it to next summer and it gets canceled again, it's not like we can then just, snap our fingers and boom, everything is sorted for the next summer. No, it isn't.
Right. No, yeah, exactly. There's so much involved.
Yeah.
One of my biggest hopes, though, is that this takes Ticketmaster down.
Fuck
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I agree. Oh man, please, Ticketmaster needs to be taken off the face of the earth, and then so does a lot of these other companies. I mean, like that, like Live Nation. Some of these companies, man, they're just. We need to see some of the smaller companies come into play, and like I said, we need to get a different system going. But I just hope things get back to somewhat normal.
Yeah. It could actually be like a good thing as well from the point of view of we could knock down the really, really big operators that have, shifted the dynamics to very, very unfair to we have to start building from scratch. So it has to be small operators who then come in, swoop in and sort of take care of the scene and so on. So maybe we could treat this as an opportunity to rebuild a better system.
That's what I hope for, and that's what I think everybody in Band Hemlock. I think we've all talked about this. We hope for that. We want to see this get restructured and rebuilt, because the guys that are going to do that are going to put their heart and fucking soul into whatever they do, and it's just going to build a better system from the ground up. And I think that's what everybody wants anyway. Now we're in a situation where that might be the case, so let's hope for that.
Right.
Hey, see, look how positive this podcast was.
I know. Deep stuff, positive stuff. We're giving metal a bad name. You guys.
Very different from the one a half an hour ago.
We just solved the live music industry's problems on this podcast.
Yes.
No doubt.
So, Brian, we're going to come to a close here. Before we go, do you have anything? If fans want to find Invidia stuff, are you guys active?
Oh yeah, I mean, fuck yeah. I mean, Invidia stuff is everywhere. I mean, we have the one record, As the Sun Sleeps, out still on SPV Records. It's on Spotify, iTunes. I mean, every music outlet there is out there, and probably some that I don't even know of. And then, obviously Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. They can find us, download the songs, buy the record. We just did the single for The Other Side. We just released the lyric video for that. And yeah, I mean, we definitely still want the support. And I have a couple Invidia surprises that are going to be popping up in the next couple months. I have a cover that I can't announce yet, but I'm going to drop it as an Invidia cover song, which people will be quite surprised. I think it came out pretty fucking amazing. So that'll be coming in the next couple months.
Oh boy.
And they can look for that on social media.
Yeah, it'll be a big press release for sure. I've been working on this song for 2.5 years to make it right, to make an impact with it. And it's, once again, just a weird coincidental. It's an 80s. I'll tell you, it's an 80s band that you would never imagine, but I turn my own twist to it. But the words and the lyrics are kind of relevant to all the shit we're talking about right now. So I feel like it's necessary for me to drop it. So that'll be coming probably, I would say, late November.
Please be poison. Please be poison. Please be poison. Just kidding.
Never.
I'm hoping for Faster Pussycat.
I'll put it this way: it's not a rock band.
Oh,
well, yay, Brian! Because what's the fucking point of doing if you're a metal band, don't do a cover of another metal band.
Yeah, they're not. I wouldn't call this band a rock band. They definitely have music playing and they're musicians and stuff, but you would definitely know who it is. You'll have to keep an eye for it. I'll be putting out a press release probably at some point.
It's Spandau Ballet, isn't it?
What's that?
Spandau Ballet, yeah.
Spandau Ballet.
It's Sade.
Maybe. Think along those lines, actually.
Amazing. Yeah, you're looking forward to hearing that.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest, guys. I mean, everything I do, I don't release it unless I'm 100%. But this one, like I said, it's this other personal thing for me, and I think it's going to do very well.
Nice.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you for getting up early. Good luck with your sons in school. Cherish every moment, my friend.
Hey, have a great one, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. Be safe out there.
You
Take
too.
care, man.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello out there. Yes, hello out there, everyone. I'm Hal Schwartz.
And I'm Flynn McLean. Together we host None But the Brave, a podcast dedicated to the music and career of Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce and E Street Band are on tour right now for the first time in 6 years, and we're taking a detailed look at what's happening on stage in our bi-weekly episodes.
We've also been recently joined by some very exciting guests, including rock journalist Warren Zanes and Stephen Hayden, Backstreet's Magazine founder Charles Cross, and Barstool's Kirk Minahan.
If you're a diehard Springsteen fan, this is the show for you.
So please subscribe to None But the Brave on your favorite podcasting platform, and we hope to see you further on up the road.
Thank you so much. We'll be seeing you.